the regional league teams that are rare. Boro, who of course has been one key name, has crossed over to from Leah to that is the team of Kuluva Rainbow. Now it's a very big one and a plus that is there. A very interesting move because Boro has been a Kuluva Rainbow at Kuluva Rainbow. Just got a notification here because the people watching have updated me about this, and I think it's a plus for them because they needed such experience.
He was captaining the Nduparaka junior team, probably one of the most experienced players, I should say, of this the current campaigner. But because the difference probably seems to be that Kulumba have added a defender into the fold, and of course having progressed the round of 32 of the Stanbic Uganda Cup, I think that could be a plus for them because after beating Maida by about 2 goals and probably having the community support, just like Victory, Launch coming on board, supporting them, Dreamland coming on board and supporting them, and the community around, this could be a timely one. But of course, I think he just made a return. At one point, he was also at Kuluva Rainbow. So those are statements that probably do come in there. But then you'd also ask yourself, why would Leah City probably allow a player in the caliber of Boro probably to be able to go? I mean, he's a fantastic player. I think his other name is Echoni. He's a big boy. He should have been there.
Yeah, a very big one. But what does that mean for them? It's an addition that is coming in there. Yes, a lot of players coming in there. Calvary equally have signed in the got in the services of the former, of course, Paida Black Angels player. He's called Omakira Enoch. He has also crossed over. That was the first signing they announced in the January transfer. Now, of course, he's a physical. He's a soldier, by the way, UPDF officer who has crossed over. He came at a trial at Nduparaka Football Club when the season was starting, but he couldn't get a chance there through, and then crossed over to, that is Paida Black Angels, who signed him, and then of course now with the team of Calvary Football.
Well, I watched him play from Varasilia Secondary School. He led the attack. At one point, he is very crucial when it comes to getting goals. His physicality, his love for the game is immense. But then I think in the near future, he probably could be crossing over to UPDF Football Club. I'm not sure whether UPDF probably have database about some of the persons who are serving in the force, and perhaps some. There was a time when UPDF recruited the son to Aguta, the referee Atutu, Ivan Pato. I asked the CEO, I said, do you know about Ivan Pato? He said, yeah, I know him. Then I said, the guy is serving in the army. He said, how? Then that means people also don't have information better about some of the players. But then somewhere I was also trying to look at how does he try to create time between serving in the force and probably playing football. So that also it's also down to what probably Calvary and the player would actually be able to agree. But I think those are two good signings. Having Oscar Agaba, who probably is experienced midfielder, probably adding in Enoch probably is a good one. But then I think they lost Norman. That's a big deal.
Norman has struggled to Lugazi now.
Yeah, he's been a very iconic player and a very creative footballer. Having lost him, probably the under-20 footballer for South Sudan, I mean, they should be able to get in more creative players so that at least they keep their focus of going to the Star Times Uganda Premier League alive. Recently, the club chairman was probably, having media visits, and one of the campaigns was probably trying to have his creating a relationship, reaching out to the masses in there. But I think ever since Calvary lost you, and not because of your presence, there has been a lot of lapses. I'm also hoping that they can actually be able to fix in some of the management-related issues, so that at least, the communication flow and probably this, because that's a big brand, a team that is doing well, a team that deserves better in terms of the publicity. If they could even get somebody who's based in Yumbe, probably to do the PR work and media work, that probably could have made some reasonable stuff. It is very important to know how to communicate, when to communicate, and probably who to communicate to. Communication may probably as well be dangerous.
Now, in other stories, of course, 4th and 5th division are going on. I mean, 4th. It should, yes, 4th division. I've seen them kickstart. Terego is one of them that is doing very well in this moment that you could see them have a lot. Now, their chairman, Alitiat, has been sending me a lot of feedbacks in their previous games. Sunday, we did a couple of games that went on there. Teams like Wandi beating team Blue Dolphin by 3-2. We did see Kalop taking on, that is Wandi also beating them. Wandi beating them. Then you have Juba Park against, of course, Trust FC, a game that ended 3-2. I mean, 3-0. Juba Park winning. Then Valin beating Eden over Ripia right there. Now, match day 2 comes in the northern zone, of course, tomorrow, where you'll be seeing, of course, Agoloko United taking on Euro Mobile FC. And then you have Gold Star taking on, of course, Opotani Central. Then you have Windy FC taking on, of course, Dryo FC. Whereas you still will be having Municipal Central taking on, of course, Kubala United. And on Thursday, a couple of games where Eden FC, Ripia will be taking on Blue Dolphin, and Wandi Soccer Club will be taking on Juba Park. Whereas Lira Leopards FC will be taking on Valin, and then Kalop will be taking on, that is Wandi United. Now, these are some of the games that are coming from the Terego DFA.
Well, one of the teams I follow so closely that I identify with is Lyria Leopards, a team that a couple of people who are very close to me probably do support, and I think this is a team that has a very big support from the community. Terego DFA is probably trying to learn some lessons. They're trying to organize themselves, but I still feel that all the DFAs have got to do a good job. It would be better to have the 4th division start before January, so that at least by January you also allowed to go to the market, get in some players, and probably be able to make some additions, and as well be able to let some players go. Because if this league starts late, you may not probably have that opportunity, and I think it causes a lot of ups and downs. What about playing the league when the children or the students are for their holidays? I know most of these teams are using students. So what about if these boys get bursaries and they're playing maybe they're playing their school football in Arua City, and probably they're supposed to be playing some fixtures, crucial ones, like for example in Lyria, maybe in Opota, in Ochodri, where Juba Park comes from. So it's a big one. And then maybe they should also have the opportunity of trying to kind of take their time, play some matches, friendly matches with teams that are probably established, special teams that are in regional league. One of the challenges they faced when it was when they were actually having the zonal league was that most of the teams in Terego were inexperienced, and also issues to do with the documentation. I think that contributed so immensely. How the licenses come and probably the forgery issues probably are trying to cut across the region. So my belief is that everyone has a responsibility, everyone has a role to play. How you play it matters.
Exactly. Now, that's one big thing. But Alitia is doing a very great job making sure that the DFA still keeps running with a lot of expectations, with a lot of targets that need to be achieved. The last time he contacted me, he wanted at least a senior coach to go and also give advices to his coaches who are in the DFA of Terego to make sure that a lot of things. But still, I have a question all the time. You have a very big gazetted stadium that has no club that is attached to. Of course, it's under the district, I think, because it was done by a project done by an organization that has come in there, but still you will see that even play is not yet.
The USMID support, the Uganda support to municipal development infrastructure, particularly was probably targeting municipalities or town councils, and at some point it was also targeting areas where refugees are probably in there. And I think that stadium is a good project, but then the questions of how to use the stadium will also depend, because the district leadership, that political one, the technical one, has got to look at how do we handle sports. Because down in the district, we have the secretary for the Council of Sports, who probably happens to be the sports officer. Now, they have a responsibility of trying to link up the persons down here with the National Council of Sports. Now, the challenge that we encounter is that most of these people are physical. Some of them have been teachers, all they know is the classwork, did not understand how sports, probably things like football, rugby, basketball, badminton, tennis, probably could work. So I think it is also important to have that. But like they say, that if they want to see people go through and do mentorship, they could as well organize as a moment for coaches. Referees every Sunday, everywhere, they have their referees Sunday lessons. What about if coaches can also be able to sit down and plan on how they can work? Much as they may be competitors, but I think improving on their knowledge levels is very important. Being a coach is just not the document. It is the zeal, it is the resilience, it is probably your attitude towards the particular sport. So as a coach, you have a big role to play in the community. Try have a formation. What they call coach is how you think. You cannot have all your defenders probably go and attack. You leave your defense plain. You go to the midfield, you try tamper with it. So coaches have got to be planners, and people down there should be able to support the coaches. Some of us, when we lose a game, we think it's the end of the road, and so that attitude has got to go. It is so old school that you think every game must be won. What about if that team that visits you has a better game plan? You lose.
Exactly. So yesterday I was with the man by the names of Chandiga, Mr. Chandia Bosco, in fact, And he was telling us a lot about how the region plans to put a lot, but he was also breaking down on how, in case a DFA wants to host something, what are the requirements, what is needed, and that is one thing. So to me, like, if you need a coaching course, if you need a media course, if you need any other course, getting the instructors, there's some fee that the federation charges you to make sure that you fulfill. Now, he told me the biggest challenge has been that very many times the numbers don't get to where they expect them to be. People also don't reach to these people, I mean to the organizers on time, which affects trainings that were to come in Arua. Because recently we talked about the coaching, the beginners,
day,
which was supposed to be at Vura. We talked about beginners, which was supposed to be in Terego. But up to now, it has not. There's no DFA that is still talking about this.
But I think it is just about plan. Every DFA must have a coaches training in a year. They must have a referees training annually. They must be able to have management and administration training. Because if you're going to be a coach and you're working with somebody who is amateurist, somebody who does not have a knowledge about the game, who does not even have a clear background on, some people even don't know who the FOA president is. They even don't know how the game of football probably is governed. They don't even watch games on screens. They only have a method and say, I come from this community and probably this is where I come from. I want to give a story. When 2018, when they did the FUFA Pioneer Media Training course, that was down in Njeru, I was blessed to probably have been part of the class that had about 45 students. After the sessions, were given football that was probably quite expensive, about $200. Were given some support. When I came back, I visited Koboko, where probably I come from. My home team, Bamburi Red Stars, probably did have a game in Koboko town, I think against Superstars. Now, in this game, I decided to donate that particular ball as a match ball through the match officials. I gave cartons of water. But before break time, the parents of the players had taken all the water. And they were saying, it's the human right. So I'm trying to look at what do we do that probably changes? Because where I come from, maybe people don't know about football. And then somewhere somebody is celebrating me and saying, oh, TOK, you're good, you've done this. But certainly somebody somewhere is killing the good reputation of the game. So I'm trying to say that everyone must be able to know their role. If you're a coach, where does a coach stand? What does a coach do on a daily basis? How does a coach communicate? How does a coach conduct himself? You can't be a coach here today and then local derby or probably local disco, you're there probably struggling with your players, also squeezing and probably trying to find, you know, that flexibility. So for me, the point is simple: know what you're supposed to do. Yeah, stretch on your roles. Know what you're supposed to do. If you're a coach, don't talk about ownership. If you're a coach, if you're an owner, don't talk about coaching because you might not know it. There's no way that somebody can do all. So basically, I think locally in West Nile, we're blessed that we have a TV. We should actually be able to have some of these people covered in their trainings and they share their experiences. Because I think that phobia, there's that phobia of failure, you fear to fail. That phobia, you should be able to take it out. We are in a .com world, we're in a situation where probably you can even teach yourself. You can go to your phone and Google, ask about FIFA, ask about FUFA, ask about 4th division, ask about 5th division. I love DFAs that are doing graphics. They're giving results timely, they're updating, they're trying to have engagements, and they're trying to influence things. I mean, that's how it should be. But otherwise, I think we have added number of DFAs. The numbers are growing. The quality of football probably should be able to grow. But the standard, the amateur standard, it probably stays put. Why am I saying this? The licensing period has been a total mess. Total mess. Up to now, I don't think some of the people do understand how to use computers. You are signing a player who has signed somewhere, he has a license there, it's a double license, it's a crime. And this player comes to you and says, I am ready to play. Contract issues, no contracts are given to players, and yet about 5 are supposed to be given up in regional league. Even 4th division teams are supposed to contract players. Now this player goes, finds an opportunity at Ondo Paraka Football Club, you hear making noise, and yet you did not invest. So I think somewhere this is becoming a problem. We should be able to deal with it. We should be able to avoid it so that at least we progress. But I think the region should be able to find a way. Region needs to find a very big space, build an office, build facilities that can allow people to train. You go to Njeru, during the day you're in class, at night you're on pitch. Now, Yumbe, You go to the office, there's no training ground. Yeah, you've got to go to Boma. I mean, this is a big challenge. Let's not have the offices or the regional offices in town. Let's have them in a village where there's space. There's still land. If you cannot buy land now, tomorrow, these people who are looking for information, people trying to build a career in the game, are probably going to have it complicated. So to me, this is probably something that we've got to iron. I've been waiting probably for days to try come up with this. Today I've lost it. Please do it.
It's a very big one. He's 40 years today, and he's telling you he's an elder, so we can come
giving you elder advice. Take it or leave it. Yeah.
That is Toko Badru, and a lot of things that we still want to talk about right there. And we still have also the 4th division continuing in Maracha district. They has started on 24th, and that was on Friday last week, and probably pushed a lot of things up to the 27th. Now they are for yet another break. That means they will be resuming on Saturday with a couple of games that will be coming right through, with Future Talent taking on Oluvu United. That will be at Marford, and these games are played mostly on the same, I should say, like so closer, because it's at 9:30 a.m. That is early in the morning. Oniwa FC taking on, of course, Pyramids, and then you have, of course, Okuvu United taking on seeing Otravu, yes, that is Otravu Tigers. Then you have Maracha Town Council taking on, of course, Mento at Nyoro Playgrounds. And now all those games will be on Saturday, but of course afternoon also has a couple of games. Otravu will be taking on Tigers, Sunrise, Otravu Tigers take on Sunrise, Oluvu United take on Maracha Town Council, and Pyramids taking on Okuvu United, whereas Meto will be taking on, of course, a Future Talent. Now, Toko, how does this, because 2 games in a day, in a league, like 4th division.
For a single team.
For a single team.
That is not a league.
What is that?
That is a gala. It is not needed. If you're participating in it, what you do is, according to the rules, you're not going to be allowed to go for zonals. Because you're just playing something to keep yourselves fit. You're wasting people's energy. One of the teams that could have potential gone on to represent this DFA would be stopped. In another way, if they are to be allowed to play in the zonals, they may probably have limited slots.
Slots, yeah.
Because now, if this is happening, and I think this is not better, it is not fine. These are people who want to hurry. They want to hurry things, and yet they have a better planning ways. People who are running football in this DFA should be able to keep the game clean. It shouldn't happen. For teams that are participating, you rather not go for the fixtures because you're making a mistake. The people organizing the competition have made a mistake already. And then the fans who are watching these games, you're even disturbing your minds because you're watching your team twice in a day. Not even in Europe, not even in the entire world that is allowed. So a league means you're playing home and away. Today, or when you play at my home, tomorrow I play at your home. If you host your games at Kulumba, if I host my games in Koboko, you should be able to visit my home. I should be able to visit your home. And that is the importance. So I think basically this is a very big mistake. A mistake that is
because if I look at it's saying Maracha DFA 4th division league fixtures, so that's why I was getting concerned. And what does it mean? Because if something is a league, can a league be played in a round robin form? I mean, in a gala form?
No.
Can it be played in a?
It is no longer a league. It could be a gala. It could as well be an outing.
That's why they say English Premier League, not Champions,
and
then there's Champions League.
The way we do the corporate league.
Yes.
You organize a corporate league, you put it at General Salim Saleh grounds, you put it at Barifa, you put it at police grounds, you expect to play about 3 matches, because that is about people just probably having something for fun. But we're talking about a league where a team has got to play a game at their home and also play away.
Okay. That's a league, and we talk about a very interesting moment right there. Now, we yet to see how that would be, but I want us to finalize with one big thing, and that is about Norman Brown. Do you think the move he took was wise? Because he is studying that side, I should say. In the 2 seasons, he was not so consistent with Calvary Football Club, engaged with the national duty. Now he gets a chance to play for Lugazi Football Club. Is that a good destination?
Well, I would say personally, it's a good development because he wants to balance between the books and probably education, actually football, and of course somewhere, I thought Calvary had given him all. Norman at Calvary probably was getting well. You should also appreciate the fact that Calvary gave him a push. Nobody knew him that much until when he came to Calvary. And of course, now being a national team player, he should probably be able to look at what he can actually be able to do better. But then the point is, would he have the opportunity, just like he was having at Calvary, to play football? And then somewhere you talked about the concentration level. Balancing the two probably is also a big thing. In big league, the ambition is to go to the Star Times Uganda Premier League. The Lugazi team is playing the Star Times Uganda Premier League. It is a positive thing for him. He has moved where he's supposed to go with the team. So he decided to move earlier than Calvary. And then it would be better if Calvary also follows him so that they tell him, young man, you know, we wanted to come to the league with you. You decided to come earlier. Now we are here. Can you come back? That probably could have gotten when he is done with his studies. But the influence over there is huge. I know of Magu Ratib, who probably is one of the persons, the founders of RISA. And I think way back in 2012, that is about 13 years ago, he formulated a team that wanted to play in the finals against Chitende and become a powerful club in there. And that's why Tendele Girigas, the Maurice Wagalukas, and a couple of other stars probably didn't have time, including Ajobe Samari. So I think he has the convincing power. He has what it takes probably to get in players down in there. And I think he has played a key role in trying to get these players. Sometimes I see him updating on his personal statuses on his social media, probably trying to tell the public about the connection between West Nile and Lugazi. And I think this is purely a West Nile connection in there.
A very big one. We'll take a break. Shortly we shall be coming back. But of course, in the top stories in the second half of this very show, I want to tell you that Junior Neymar Mbuaba has terminated his contract with Al Hilal, and he has joined his childhood club. I'm talking about Santos. That is going to be one big one, and a couple of other transfer speculations and rumors still move on now, with a lot of teams expecting to see whether Garnacho and Marcus Rashford could be making a move away at the end of the season. At the end of the transfer, a lot is expected. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.